We've got several heavy-hitting matchups across the AFC this week, so we're going to pick every Week 9 game today on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins. And we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup.
Joe Marino, happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday.
And don't look now, but the show's getting hot with the picks.
Did well.
Joe Marino went 11-2 in Pick'em last week. His
Shout
best.
out to the 49ers and
yeah, what happened here?
Falcons.
You get the Broncos. I picked the Cowboys. What an idiot I am.
Yeah.
So that was the difference. That was the lone difference this past week. The show went 10-3 against the spread. So the show has 2 weeks of 9-6 and 10-3 the last 3 weeks against the spread, and then a 7-8 tucked in the middle. But 55% against the spread for the show thus far this season.
Very good.
And you and I are hot with the picks. So we're going to try to do it again. You and I are picking just the outcome, the winners of the game. The show, courtesy of the off-season content that we do that is dedicated to putting all the players on all the teams in buckets and cornerstones and quality starters and sufficient starters and quality depth and all the way down the line. There's a numerical value that's associated with all those designations. It has a formula that we use to calculate against the spread, and then we compare our friends over at FanDuel, their spreads versus our spreads, and whatever the discrepancy is what yields us to pick one team or another against the spread. So with that in mind, and we just did adjustments the last 2 weeks to some of those designations, so a little bit of a fresh perspective on these rosters. Joe, we have a Thursday night game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. And the last time these two teams played on Thursday night, we were there.
Remember it well.
Joe made some money that night.
Yeah. I had the Dolphins winning, and I had Justin Tucker missing a pick.
Tucker missing field goal, and Dolphins winning the game. Dolphins money line.
Yeah.
Came through.
Tua came in, wasn't supposed to play.
Right, he was in the Brian Flores doghouse. That's what that was.
And then Brian Flores had Lamar Jackson in a doghouse that he couldn't get out of.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
Zero all night.
No, he couldn't handle it.
Lots changed since then.
Yeah.
The Ravens have played Miami a few times since then and discovered their cover zero beaters against the Dolphins players, although the nucleus of that team has changed dramatically. The Ravens come in at 2-5. The Dolphins are 2-6. High stakes affair for both teams where somebody's trying to salvage what's been a horrible start. Somebody, at least on the Miami side of things, there's been a lot of drumbeat for hot seat and potential changes. Both these teams coming off big wins last week in week 8. Pretty interesting matchup, especially because I think both teams will find yards to be had. I think moving the ball is not going to be the problem. It's who plays more mistake-free football this week.
Yeah, I think that's a good call out. I like Baltimore in this game. Lamar's back, and I think that's very significant. I think he's one of the best players in the league. And I think there's going to be so much urgency for Baltimore because they should smell blood in the water. They're in a hole, but it's not a hole they can't get out of. That division feels like it's there to be taken, and I think this is step one in that. Well, I mean, really last week getting that win against Chicago without Lamar, I think was step one. And I think they kind of continue their run and win this one on the road. Obviously, Miami's got some momentum out of that big win against Atlanta. But I think, obviously, this is a really different challenge in Baltimore. And For the concerns that Baltimore has with their own defense, which I think Miami should be able to find some success, I do like Baltimore's ability to score and I mean, even dare Miami to keep up with them. And I like some of their opportunities to throw it against Miami. So put me down for Baltimore.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is usually when Miami gets in those games where they have to chase points, that's where
like
a mistake gets compounded and then the play calling changes dramatically with a short leash. And then those mistakes start to snowball. And that's how games have historically under Mike McDaniel gotten away from Miami. So I think, again, both teams should be free to move the ball. I am with you in picking the Ravens to win the game. The spread is Baltimore on the road at 7.5. The show likes Miami to cover the plus 7.5. So the show is at least expecting somewhat of a competitive game here. I would not be surprised as long as the turnovers don't snowball for either team. But if you're telling me, hey, you're in a shootout, Baltimore getting Lamar Jackson back and having the full complement of offensive weaponry, I think sets the stage for them quite well.
Over-under is 51.5, which is a pretty high number for a Thursday night game. Yeah.
It's a healthy number. The New England Patriots staying in the AFC East, playing a team with a bird mascot. We'll play the Atlanta Falcons as our next game.
Is there significance to the bird mascot comment there? Is there something I don't know?
The Dolphins AFC East team are playing the Ravens as a bird mascot, and now the Patriots are playing the Falcons as another AFC East team playing a team with a bird mascot.
All right. Very good. Very good.
Falcons coming off that rough loss at the hands of Miami last week. New England just steady rolling along. Drake may get sacked a bunch of times. We're going to drop 32 points anyway. No big deal. We'll win by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Interesting matchup that becomes hard because Atlanta is bipolar. Right? Like I look at some matchups and I'm like, hey, I think Atlanta can really have some advantageous things in this game, but it's on the road, which they have not performed well on the road in the first place all season long. And what faith should I have to buy into you off of the performance that you just had? And I understand Kirk Cousins played and Drake London was out, but like that should not have been a 24-point discrepancy with those two players.
I don't disagree. I like New England at home. I think the big thing here is Atlanta's going to have to run the football, and New England's run defense is simply outstanding. They've held their last 3 opponents under 75 rushing yards, and their ability to obviously be really gap sound, but they have a physical second level. They've got corners that will insert into the run fit at a high level. I think that matters a ton. And I think they have the corners to match up with a Drake London, assuming he's back in this game. So I think it's going to be really tough sledding for Atlanta's offense. And maybe they'll be able to pressure Drake May a little bit, but that hadn't mattered, right? He's going to take sacks. That's the one thing with Drake May. He takes a lot of sacks, but he figures out everything else. And I think he'll be able to meet this moment. I think when New England cruises here at home.
The show does not agree with the cruises comment. The show has these two teams fairly closely graded. Therefore, it likes Atlanta to cover plus 5.5. I'm with you. New England is the team that has shown that, what does Vrabel say? The stuff that you win with, the stuff that you lose with, and the blank that gets you beat, right? They've got rid of the blank that gets you beat pretty consistently this season. So I think New England at home with the momentum that they have, Atlanta's road issues all season long, I'm going to go with you on the Patriots. But the show likes Atlanta to cover plus 5.5. So the road's on 2 dogs. The show is on 2 dogs to start this week's show.
All right, you want to squeeze in Carolina, Green Bay?
Looking at this number, yeah, we should probably. Yeah. Packers favored at home by 13.5 points. What did Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers do to FanDuel? Who's mad? Who at FanDuel is mad at Carolina for a 13.5 point spread?
They're on the road against a really good run defense.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay's held every opponent but one under 100 rushing yards, and it took overtime for them to give up 100 rushing yards.
Tell me a defense with Micah Parsons on it is capable of defending
very good point. Very good point. And so that plus their ability to pass rush and get after Bryce Young, I think they're going to have a hard time, Carolina, moving the football. Meanwhile, I think there's plenty of opportunities for Green Bay to move the football against Carolina. It's in Green Bay. In what Carolina's going to be down even more offensive linemen. They could be down 2 more starters. Christensen's going to be out. We'll see what Moton, if he's going to be able to go. Mays is hurt. I don't know, man. I don't see it for Carolina this week. Green Bay big.
If it were not for the injuries that you just mentioned and some of the questionable state of affairs there, Carolina would be favored to cover, but for all the grief that I gave FanDuel, we actually have it as 13.7. So, so we like Green Bay to cover the 13.5.
All right. We got more to do, including this Denver-Houston game, which I'm excited to discuss with you next and figure out who we're going to pick. We'll do that on the other side of it, folks. Be sure to stick with us. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of this sports season, whether you're following the NFL, NBA, or both. There's no better time to get in on the action. If you haven't tried it yet, Prize Picks is the simplest way to play. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get them right, you win. It takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere Prize Picks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. I've been using Prize Picks during both football Sundays and NBA tip-offs, and it keeps every game exciting. And I love the injury reboot feature. It's awesome. If one of your players leaves early with an injury, the injury reboot saves your lineup from a loss. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Let's be honest, most of us can't even name all our financial accounts, let alone what they're worth. Between 401ks, savings, and investments, it's easy to lose track, and that can mean leaving money on the table. That's why I started using Monarch, an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. It's helped me organize my accounts, track my spending, and even get a better handle on my investments without having to touch a spreadsheet. I love that I can review everything with my wife, see our shared goals, and make better financial decisions together. Monarch's visual dashboards and smart tools make it so much easier to understand where my money's going and how to make it work harder for me. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNFL at monarch.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarch.com, code LOCKEDONNFL for half off your first year.
Interesting game of horses here.
Man, Kyle's just on top.
The Broncos and Texans are going to get together and play a little game of horse this weekend.
Oh, baby. Man, the dad joke yesterday just opened up the floodgates today, huh?
That's right. Yeah, the creative juices are tragically flowing for everybody who's not into dad joke humor. My apologies. But the Texans are at home, favored by 1.5 against Denver. And I kind of want to go with Houston. I'm kind of feeling it.
This was the game I found myself thinking the most about. In fact, I took my daughter to school this morning, and on the drive back, I was thinking to myself, man, who am I picking in this Denver and Houston game?
All right, so let's break it down. Houston just got done beating San Francisco last week.
Yeah.
At home. So they've been home. Nice routine. Denver was at home last week against Dallas, and just fireworks offensively. The Dallas defense didn't have anything for them. A little bit of a different experience this week defensively, what you have in store versus Dallas. The other Texas team has a little bit more teeth with what they're running on that side of the ball. Do I like CJ Stroud versus Denver's defense without Pat Surtain more than I like Bo Nix versus the Texans defense? I think my answer there is yes, and the Texans are at home.
You picking Houston?
I'm locking it in. I'm going.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and keep thinking about it. I'm going Texans at home.
I'm going Denver. Yeah, I think the pass rush. No, it's the pass rush. The pass rush is going to be too much for Houston. That's my thought in this game. Denver's rushing offense has really kind of come to life. I know Houston's very stout overall with their defense, but they have shown some life. Denver running the football, and I actually think this is going to be very low scoring. It's actually the only game this week with an over-under that's under 40 points.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I understand your logic of the home team. Let's not act like Houston doesn't have good pass rushers too, but the collective rush of Denver, I just kind of feel it. I think they should feel like they have a lot of momentum. Obviously, they've stacked a bunch of wins here. Denver's won 5 in a row.
I think that works against them.
Do you? I don't
know.
Because
Houston's still desperate, right? Like Houston's looking up at both Jacksonville and the Colts right now.
They can be desperate, but they can't block this front. It ain't going to matter.
I don't know. I watched CJ Stroud hold on for dear life and still give them a puncher's chance against Seattle a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that's a similar metric front. They got the backs involved a little bit more last week against the 49ers. I know that it's the 49ers without all their best players. I get it, but the show likes Denver. It's Kyle versus Joe in the show. The show likes Denver plus 1.5.
Let's ride, baby.
Texans country, that's right. The Chargers on the road against the Titans, favored by 9.5 points.
Chargers
is very cut and dry.
Yeah, Chargers.
We're pick the Chargers to win the football game. My question for you is: over the next 5 days, will the Titans score more touchdowns or trade more players? What number's higher? McCreary, Brownlee.
Yeah. Do those count towards the?
No. It's for from right now forward.
They're kind of running out of guys, right, to trade.
Trade Zeitler.
I'd like to think they'll score 4 touchdowns.
No, in the next 5 days. So just
just this one game?
Yeah.
They'll probably score 1 or 2, right?
Right.
Probably trades.
I might go trades or push, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that I go touchdowns.
Right.
Somebody had the Cam Ward first 8 games versus Josh Rosen first 8 games metric up. Made me a little uncomfortable. And I know there's a lot of context there, and I think Cam Ward's going to be just fine.
Just put him up against the Josh Allen numbers. That's what you're supposed to do when you want to buy into a young quarterback. You just put him up against Josh's.
Former colleague Benjamin Solak said that he thinks Caleb Williams is on the Josh Allen trajectory.
I know that's very surprising to me, but
respectfully disagree.
I respectfully disagree. It's a good transition to the next game, though.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, well done.
The Chicago Bears. The Bears. The show likes the Chargers, by the way, on the road to cover 9.5. The Bears are favored by 3 points against the Bengals. In these, I guess, what is this? The Zoo Bowl? The Bears and Tigers? Lions and Tigers and Bears? We need to move the Lions-Vikings game up to the next game so we can do Lions, Tigers, and Bears.
Yeah, I hate that for you. It's not going to work out. But
Joe Flacco, AC joint injury. Zach Taylor says we don't know what Joe can do with limited work. And my answer to that is very simple. I know what Jake Browning can do with full work. So you should still go with Joe Flacco
right.
for a chance to win the game.
Right. What's Josh Johnson doing? Don't you just put him in? What you just,
Dial him up.
I don't like picking Chicago at all. I think they're the fakest team with a winning record in the league right now. They had the goofiest 4-game winning streak you'll ever see, where they had 3 takeaways in all 4 of those games and beat Dallas, the Raiders, Commanders, and Saints. I don't see it with the Bears, but the thing is, I don't know what Cincinnati has to really stress them. It's not like Cincinnati can run the football like everyone else should be able to do against Chicago. So I reluctantly pick the Bears, but I don't think I'll be picking the Bears much this year.
Yeah. So how many points did the Jets score against Bengals?
Oh, a lot.
39, right?
Yeah,
It's 39-38.
Yeah.
How many points did the Steelers score against the Bengals?
The Steelers score against the Bengals?
Yeah, wasn't that like 38 or 39-36 Bengals win or something like that?
The Steelers scored 31. 33.
So the Steelers and Jets in recent weeks have both gone 33 or more points against the Bengals. I think the Bears are going to be just fine. Yeah, they're going to score enough points to win the game.
They're going to be 5-3, and they're going to think they got a chance. Great.
The show likes the Bears to cover -3 on the road, so we're all fading the Bengals here. The Colts and the Steelers, big AFC matchup in the 1:00 slate. This will be one of my 2 screens. I'm going to have Broncos Texans probably on the main screen. This will be the secondary screen. Is Colts Steelers.
I mean, I'm riding the Colts, man. I think their rushing offense is really good. I don't think that. I think their pass rush has been really good. I don't think that Pittsburgh's really equipped to stress that secondary. It's in Pittsburgh, which probably helps Pittsburgh, but I'm riding the hot hand of the Colts here.
The shoe, beat the Steelers. It's time to. I don't know. It's always that one ad-lib line in the song, right? I'm with you. I'm going with the Colts. Steelers, just not a lot of confidence in the defense right now. Too many weapons for Indianapolis. I don't think. I think Pittsburgh has the opportunity with DK Metcalf to maybe hit some explosives, but I just don't think they're going to be consistent enough to keep pace across 60 minutes. And the show likes the Steelers +3. So the show is fading us against the spread.
All right, we got more to do, including Bills Chiefs here in segment 3. Folks, be sure to stick with us. Mazda crafts cars for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers confidence with every ride, with more IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than anyone else. From footwork to breathwork, athletes sweat all the details, and Mazda brings this same intention to how we craft every model. You can feel the craftsmanship in every detail, from the metallic accents to the available Napa leather upholstery. You can make everyday drives feel like anything but, from smooth handling to intuitive controls, and all-wheel drive is standard in every crossover SUV, so you can drive with confidence through almost any season. Like our players, we sweat every detail, because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda, move and be moved.
The Giants and 49ers.
It's in Jersey, right?
In Jersey. Yeah, let's specify. It's not New York.
Yeah, that's right.
It's in New Jersey. Northern Jersey. So West Coast team coming all the way across the country for a 1 o'clock kick without a lot of their primary players. 49ers have struggled to run the ball against the Giants defense that surprisingly has struggled to stop the run all season long. Weird game to pick. This is probably as hard for me as Broncos Texans to pick.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I think the thing that I feel the best about is Robert Saleh against a rookie quarterback with modest weapons. That's what I'm clinging to. And I think, I guess, is it going to be Purdy? I don't know. It probably doesn't matter. I feel decent about San Francisco in this game. I'm picking the Niners.
Better coach team. San Francisco, I think, in all phases, it's probably fair to say.
Yeah.
I think in a coin toss team, I would go with the better coached, what I perceive to be the better coached team. So I'll go with you. So these are the kinds of games that, like, has been how San Francisco has stayed afloat this season, right? Is finding ways to win kind of games where there's some things going against them, but their problem solving is pretty good this year. I'm in. I'm going 49ers. The show likes the 49ers -2.5 as well. The Lions against the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy's back, if for no other reason, necessity, because Carson Wentz is out now with a shoulder injury. And the Lions are at home, favored by 8.5 points against the Vikings getting their starting quarterback back.
Yeah, Lions off the bye. Hutch with the new deal. He's going to have, how many sacks is Hutch going to have? Maybe 6 or 7?
No.
I know. That was hyperbolic, but
give me 3.
No.
Give me 3.
You know, the guy's probably going to have 15 3-sack games in his career. You know, like that. Like that's not nothing to rip off 3 sacks. Yeah, I don't know. The vibes are bad with the Vikings right now. I respect KOC, but Detroit, man, they're should get a little bit more healthy coming out of the bye. Minnesota's lost 3 of 4. They gave up 207 rushing yards to the Chargers, and here comes Gibbs and Montgomery. I don't know, man. They can't convert third downs. Lions.
The show likes Minnesota to cover 8.5. I would not venture a real life bet on that regard. But the show, both the formula likes the Vikings. So we'll see if that ends up paying off for the show. If you thought 13.5 points for a spread this week was large, avert your eyes. because the Rams have Tyler Shuck coming to town.
Yeah.
And the New Orleans Saints. And what do you agree it was a necessary change, even though it wasn't necessarily Spencer Rattler's fault?
No, you got to find out, right? You drafted a quarterback in the second round. That's, not necessarily the youngest quarterback. You got to find out what you have. And you're probably going to trade some receivers as well. And so this will be like his chance to go out there with Shaheed and Olave and play some football. So I think they had to do it. I think they get smoked by a Rams team coming off the bye with a really dynamic defense. I don't see the path for the Saints to win the game, but it is the right move, I think, to play Shuck.
Yeah, I absolutely hate Shuck drawing an assignment against the Rams defense in his first start.
It's the league, man. You can't hide, dude,
You cannot hide. That's right. But man, oh man, on the road against what the Rams are cooking right now, and now they're adding, and I don't know how big of an impression Roger McCreary is going to have on this game, but that was the concern I had with the Rams long term for like playoff run was that secondary. So they added a nice piece. The show likes the Rams to cover the 14.5 as well. There's not too many matchups where the show's going to say that number's not too big. This is one of them. And it says what the show feels about the state of affairs of New Orleans, who has our worst ranked roster in the NFL. The Jaguars visiting Las Vegas against the Raiders. Make this one quick. I think Jacksonville wins this football game because I don't have a lot of confidence in anything that the Raiders are doing offensively or defensively.
Yeah, both teams off the bye. Raiders are at home, but there's just way more going for Jacksonville than the Raiders. And I think the Raiders will probably be making some trades, selling here a little bit. So Jacksonville.
The show likes Jacksonville -3. Kansas City visiting Buffalo in the annual, sometimes twice annual matchup of these two teams.
It's the 10th matchup, man. 10th time these two dudes have went against each other.
It's the new Manning Brady, huh?
Yeah. I think they played more than Manning and Brady already.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Chiefs favored on the road by 1.5 against the Bills. Just off the vibes, Kansas City feels like they're the team that's kind of got everything clicking in a little bit more. I think where I struggle is Buffalo understands the magnitude of this matchup. They've had a lot of regular season success against Kansas City, and it to me is yet another coin toss game where you could tell me this breaks either way. And I know from Buffalo and their defensive struggles perspective, like I'm probably going to end up picking the Chiefs, but like you could tell me this game breaks either way and I'm going to believe you.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right mindset to have. The Bills have won the last 4 in the regular season. The Chiefs have won the last 4 in the postseason. It's in Buffalo. That's helpful. But ultimately, you have a Chiefs team that I think is really clicking in so many different ways. Their pass rush, they're limiting points. They've allowed like 21 points in the last 3 games combined. Their offense is absolutely cooking. It's probably the best it's looked in several years. He's got the full complement of weapons. I have way more questions about the Bills than I do Kansas City in this game. And so I am picking the Chiefs to win this one.
The show likes the Bills. The show likes this as a pick'em game. So therefore the show likes the home dog in the Bills. +1.5, but I'm going to ride with you and I'm going to pick the Chiefs. Sorry, Tim. We are
different. That'd have been fun for you to pick the Bills,
Seahawks, Commanders.
Yes, I'm picking the Seahawks. Good job.
I am also picking the Seahawks, and I don't think it really matters whether Jaden Daniels plays or not, right? There's bigger picture conversations going on with the Washington Commanders this season, and Seattle's coming off the bye. So, like, all of that talk about traveling across the country, well, it's a 8 o'clock kickoff anyway, so it's not like it's the 1 o'clock kick where your body clock's all messed up, and you're off the bye. Yeah. So all of the things that I think would have made this the most attractive element for Washington have been negated by it being a primetime game, and Seattle has extra rest. Now, Washington is now Terry McLaurin's down.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
A nightmare. Yeah. A nightmare season for Washington in just about every way. Seattle, and the show likes Seattle -3 on the road.
Seattle's defense is a real problem for Washington under the current state of affairs. So, yeah.
So that bowl bet's looking good, right?
Sam Darnold. Yep.
Remember that bowl bet? What did we say? Top 8 in every major defensive metric. Was it turnovers, points, and yards?
They're probably going to do it. Yeah, probably going to do it.
Maybe feeling good. Our Hawks. Go Hawks. In the Monday Night Football game of the year that is probably might be least interesting to me, but I get it. It's America's team. So That's a lie. Washington, Chicago a few weeks ago was definitely a matchup that fell in a game I would less like to watch than this one. The Cowboys and the Cardinals.
Cardinals off the bye. Dallas off a loss.
Dallas at home.
Right, it's Dallas at home.
Exponentially better offense. And I know that, Arizona's defense has some dudes and their secondary has been a strength, but who's covering CD and George as a 1-2 punch?
Will Johnson.
A rookie, okay. Who else?
I think there's going to be points, but I don't even against Dallas's defense, I don't expect Kyler and company to keep up.
I would pick Arizona. I would be more likely to pick Arizona if Jacoby Brissett was starting than Kyler Murray.
I agree with you. And Arizona hasn't run the ball like they're supposed to this year.
With Kyler Murray.
Right. Now Dallas will give it up. I mean, there's no question. You have contrasting problems here, but it's Dallas at home with the better quarterback.
Correct.
I'm going Dallas.
Yeah, I think they're going to put some points up, and I don't expect Arizona to be in a position to really capitalize. Maybe they'll make it interesting late. Kind of what was that game was against Seattle on Thursday a few weeks ago, where it was like the Seahawks smoked them, and then Arizona made it interesting late. That was the week 4 Thursday game where the Seahawks I think Arizona had 100 yards of offense in the first 3 quarters, but it was a 1-score game late. I don't know if it'll be that extreme, but I kind of expect that vibe from Dallas, and they'll get out on top and be in control of the flow of the game.
So one different, huh?
One different this week. Denver and Houston.
Trying to
Pony Bowl.
Yeah, the Pony Bowl.
That's going to be the determining factor for you and I in the pick'em this week.
So you'll either be up by 6 or you'll be up by 4. Yeah,
Yep.
4 or 6. See,
6,
7.
That's going to do it for us. We're out of here. Kyle Crabbs, Joe Marino. Enjoy Thursday Night Football tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for takes on takes. And I got a banger of a take for Joe. You're going to want to come back and find out. That's tomorrow on Locked On NFL Scouting.